Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 29/9/2022 newspaper. So, in today's newspaper, let's quickly look at the issues that are important for us. Yes. Minister bans PFI 8 front bodies for 5 years under UAPA. See, guys, this is internal security topic and we are talking about unlawful Activities Prevention Act UAPA. Fine, internal security. You can write down there UAPA Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Fine, has banned Popular Front of India. Has banned Popular Front of India. Okay. You see this recently what has happened, NIA, ED and other agencies, they have checked about these organizations in multiple parts of the country. When they raided, they have got some information that some people from this organization were actually associated with ISIS, Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Some of them were associated with Al Qaeda. They had attended some training sessions and all, which all indicates that these are acting as sleeper cells in India. And there was an organization called as SIMI, Student Islamic, right, Movement of India or something. So in that particular case, that was a terrorist organization involved in certain issues. So India banned it. The people who were present in that came out of that, and then they had established PFI, and it was calm for a while. But recently, in multiple parts of the country, they have given several threats to different people, and it is believed that they are involved in several cases. There are some people who are left that you are not involved in the case, and some people who are arrested, they are involved in the case. But what is important for me is, if they had links with ISIS, Al Qaeda, and all, then we need to take this issue seriously, right? So you write there, few members of PFI, few members of PFI had links with had links with ISIS, ISIS, and Al Qaeda, and Al Qaeda. So guys, now revised CET results, Sonia likely to meet, CBI begins investigation, not required, guys. Fine. And this is an interesting case. The students from Mangaluru has actually got some recognition from Watch, for rearing 40 caterpillars to adult moths or butterflies. So they are trying to learn how to work with the nature, and that's really good. So just have a glance of those things, nothing much. Now let's move quickly to editorial, guys. Guys, in this editorial topic, which is written by a former secretary, it's very, very important for us to understand what is happening. He's trying to explain us about the Russia, China, India, US, and many other people who are involved in what actually is happening. So I'll try to explain this. In one of the classes, I already told you people that Russia Ukraine war is mainly because Ukraine is a very important area for Russia to get access to Black Sea. So if Russia wants to go to Black Sea, then it has to go through Ukraine. And if Ukraine joins NATO, then NATO will not allow Russia to join Black or to go to Black Sea. So Russia wants access to Black Sea. It has captured Crimea, it has captured Donetsk, Luhansk, and other regions which give access to Black Sea. Now, European Union and US is supporting Ukraine mainly because they want to defeat Russia. Remember, guys, to win the war, what is important is weapons. But along with that, you should also know how to use it effectively. Russians are taking the weapons and they are shooting randomly, whereas Ukraine is getting official information from US and European Union, intelligence information from US and European Union that see, this is the area where Russians have kept their weapons. So drop a bomb exactly there. So what is happening? Ukraine is dropping every bomb carefully in Russia. Every bomb shot is used carefully by Ukraine. Russia, in the mindset of thinking that I have lot of missiles, guns, and all, they are sending the troops directly. Like, someone randomly they are picking and they're sending who will go and shoot. So, this is causing Russia to retreat. So, Russia is telling now I will increase more number of people, and also, if possible, I will go for nuclear bombs. Remember, Ukraine is not a weaker country. Ukraine has the largest army in Europe, and that is the reason they are also able to fight back. But the only issue is if it goes to the threat of using nuclear weapons and all, will it lead to Third World War or will it end Russia Ukraine war? We need to wait and watch. Now, when we are looking at China, when everything is going on, and if Russia gets defeated, just think about it. If Russia gets defeated, Russia will take support from countries like China, and China will be on the top level, Russia will be below China. This will be, like, not good for Russia. Second, in United Nations Security Council, China is the only country which is not involved in the war, directly or indirectly. So, China can determine the outcomes, can comment, can become a leader out of this. Because these are some of the points which are given in the article. Uh, no need to write anything, guys. I'll give a proper notes about all these aspects. Let there be some sort of changes, guys. Nothing much. So the opposition is too divided. Political issue not required. In nature's warning signs, a nudge to riparian states. See, guys, riparian states basically means we say that, like, the states which through which river flows. So for example, if I take Brahmaputra flows through China, India, Bangladesh. So it is called as what? Riparian states. Fine. So now the article is actually trying to argue about trying to achieve, like, some sort of peace among the countries, because most of the countries have not joined certain international conventions. Now let us see what are these, guys. For example, recently there was floods in Pakistan. There are increasing floods in Brahmaputra mainly because China is not telling us how much water it is storing and how much water it is releasing regularly, including India and Nepal. Like, we do not have very good measures, but wherever the measures are there, we have definitely tried to stop the floods and all. Now, given all this, what is important is there is United Nations Convention on the Law of Non-Navigational Uses of International Water Courses, which helps us to use water resources and international lakes. Unfortunately, India and China are not part of it. Now, when anyone is part of it, they need to inform the states about flood situations, right? The diseases, siltation that is there, all those things they must try to inform from one to another. In any of this absence, what is happening? We are going for memorandum of understanding, MOUs. So which will give us information about the dams that China have constructed. This is what it is trying to argue, is nothing much. So you write below, you write below, guys, about international relations hyphen transboundary transboundary movement of water resources. Hyphen. There is United Nations convention on the law of non-navigational uses non-navigational uses of international water courses, 1997. Or United Nations Economic Commission for Europe on the protection and use of on the protection and use of transboundary water courses, and international lakes 1992. Hyphen India and China, India and China are not are not members of this, are not members of this. Hyphen under these several emergency situations, several emergency situations like like floods, floods, waterborne diseases, waterborne diseases, siltation, siltation, erosion, salt water intrusion, etc., etc., can be can be obtained, etc., can be obtained. Full stop. As India doesn't have, as India doesn't have access to this, access to this, India is planning for MOUs, MOUs with China and other countries. So guys, the next article is actually written because they are opening what we call as, like, Center for Bay of Bengal Studies. So they have given the relevance of Bay of Bengal. You just read it, not so important, but just have a look at it. Yeah. So guys, the next one is about Chief of Defense Staff. See guys, India realized that having Army, Navy, Air Force separately is of no use. If we have one command, so in case of war, or like, there must be some sort of coordination between different members. So if this needs to be achieved, then we need a man or an office to look into. So that was actually taken care by, like, Bipin Rawat, but after his helicopter crash, now it is Anil Chauhan, right? So you see here, will have the task of taking forward the reorganization of the armed forces into integrated theater commands, as well as building consensus, synergy, and efficiency. Fine. Supreme Court criticizes center's failure to settle mercy petition of Rojavana, not required. UP issues timetable for madrasas due to start with. Center gives 4% hike in DA. Over 1,400 cases, SDPI escapes. Yeah. So guys, this is an issue in Jammu Kashmir where, like, the roads have been blocked, and because of that, the trucks which are moving, which are taking apple, are stuck and they are getting rotten. So the cost of apples, and these people are suffering because of this issue. Jaishankar, US NSA discuss strategic ties and Ukraine war. This US National Security Advisor and India has had a talk. on what exactly we need to do in Indo-Pacific, that is South China Sea region, South Asia and the Gulf region, that is West Asia region. Is nothing much. Yeah. So guys, border situation moving towards being normalized. So this is given by Chinese envoy where he is telling that everything is fine. There is nothing that you need to see here, guys, because they're just telling, see, okay, now everything is going on well, we are talking, consultations are improving. So I have read the articles. If there is anything important, I'll explain that and also give you notes. Ukraine referendum results point to Russia annexation. See, guys, eastern side of Ukraine has Russian speaking people and they are going for voting and they are all telling that yes, we want to be with Russia. We could not agree more. Blinken on PM Modi's message to Putin. Modi recently told Putin that this is not the era of war and things must be settled peacefully. Yeah. His budget to reset tax laws to decriminalize sections in IT GST. Actually, this is very important for us, but they are telling it may happen in budget. Is they're talking about 2023 2024, guys. How will we know whether they will implement it or not? So don't worry about it. Forex reserves to dip by $23 billion by December. See again, we have till 3 months left, and now they are predicting that it will dip. So predictions are the only thing given in the Hindu newspaper, guys. They're actually not covering economy well. That's the reason I'm also not able to explain you the topics. But let me tell you, we will take up the other newspaper issues as well, subject wise, and try to help you guys. So, thank you all. Thanks a lot.